Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21. It's Stage Racer. We're on episode 33. It's another minor race, but I've got just terrible luck this season. In terms of we're a Continental Pro team, but we've got a terrible schedule. I don't have very many points to spend, and I'd really rather spend them once we're a World Tour team and get into the right races at the right times when it matters, and not, now where it's very insignificant. I want to navigate the season, but I want to save those points up for future years, especially when we are staying with a single team and we won't necessarily get tons of points at any point, in time as we stay with this team. So that being said, the schedule I've been given, it sucks. It's not a good schedule. It does not suit me at all. And then to make things worse, my team is continually picking no leader or not me as leader, even though I'm clearly the best rider on the team under numerous types of terrain. And yet I still can't get picked as leader. I don't know the last time I was picked as leader. It's been a while, in between episodes I've been busy, so I don't know. I might have missed something here and there, but I don't recall a time where I was picked as leader last. It's been that long. At least I think it's been that long. And so I keep having to waste energy. And then I don't get support from the team. So those two things are bad enough. But then to make matters worse, I keep getting numerous... I've had some good ones, and it hasn't all been bad. But I keep getting a lot of poor, as we're seeing a little attack. I don't know if I should be following this. I don't think it's going to hold. 8 riders have escaped, actually, but there's enough guys to chase that down, and I think the effort that they're making right now is going to hurt a lot of guys, and I'm going to make this ground up pretty quick. It's still 30k to go. It's a little early to be going full on attack, but we are seeing splits. Breakaway is now caught, so we're down to 38 riders. They did catch those guys, as I suspected, and you can see the damage. We had 5 guys here just a moment ago. Now all of a sudden it's just me. Anyway, what I was getting to, the point that I was alluding to, is I keep getting these negative race day condition draws. And when I have to work at the front early in a stage for 20, 30, 50 kilometers, today was another, 33k that I spent on the front. When I continually have to do that again and again, and a negative race day condition that sets me down to a stamina of 61, I end up having, you can see right now I'm in fantastic shape. But because of this race day condition nastiness that I have max yellow bar, except that I don't actually have much yellow bar. And it's going to drain really fast when it comes down to it on these last couple of climbs when we're fighting for the result. We do have 2 riders that have escaped, now 1 rider that's escaped, and we're seeing splits in the peloton. That one of these times it's definitely not coming back together, and each time this has been happening over the last few laps, it's become fewer and fewer guys away. Garrison's on the verge of getting dropped. He's a +4, and speaking of, Alves is hanging in there, but he's not doing too well, and there's 28 of us now. I go ahead and sit up. This is definitely not the time to attack. We've all sat up, letting on that secondary group again, but here we go. That's not a time to attack yet. 2 guys did and succeed, Bagioli and Vlasov, and this looks like the kind of move that's going to split the field and not come back. That's 14 riders getting away. I'm still in a follow pattern where I'm not actually doing anything. That was weird. We still have some more climbing to do. It was still showing me as following, but I wasn't actually making any progress on that. Now, 2 guys are properly getting away with just 15 kilometers to go. I'm wasting a lot of energy chasing when I was already on his wheel. And not split off, but it split me off anyway. I do not like being the guy who's doing the chasing, but let's hit that little uphill. Okay, back off again. Okay, we're in it. That was silly. That was so silly. How, how are they continually attacking and we aren't? What, because we have no stamina resistance? Yeah, that's probably why. But that's the silliness of the situation. We have 15 at the front, so we're looking good for that as a good, strong climber. Let's sit up. 6K to go. We need our gel here soon. It's back to 28 again. I don't understand how this continually is happening. Follow, follow, follow. I'm still in the group technically. I'm on their heels just ever so slightly. I was anyway. Seems to have detached me ever so slightly from that, but there you go, regaining contact. Squeezing my way up through the group a little bit into a better position with 1 kilometer to go. Last little uphill swing, attacking. There's the finish line. Can we get a top 10? That's about all we can. Bagioli and Vlasov held off. I'm slipping backwards. Again, this is the no stamina resistance day. You saw how strong those guys were and how I was not keeping up with them at all. Yet not getting dropped, but not really able to do anything. 14th, though, not a bad result. Definitely could be worse. 14th out of the 14 in the group. Yeah, that kind of sucks. But we just didn't have the stamina or the resistance to really make a proper push in that final 2 kilometers to be in a better position. We were at the back. We scooted up, but they were able to ride back past us as we didn't have the ability to really push the last few hundred meters. And that brought us from maybe 9th right back down to 14th. Still, 14, that's a good finish. You know what the team's going to do? They're going to give me 10 XP for being a good teammate. How much you want to bet? They don't care about 14th, even though I'm much higher than anybody else on the team in this race. What'd I tell you? 10 points of progression. That's all we get. And the manager's satisfaction, plus 4%, did exactly what they wanted. Finished much higher than anybody else on the team. Got 14th overall, despite a terrible race day condition and the effects of what they sent me to do for the day. But as time goes on, this is only getting lower and not higher, because despite doing what they want me to do and getting those little bonuses, the natural regression and this terrible split up week schedule where I'm racing once every 2 weeks just is not panning out. It's rough season. I'm actually doing okay in terms of points. This is the best season we've had thus far. I'm finishing higher in more prestigious races, but it's still nothing spectacular, and I'm still not getting support, and it is what it is. Maybe we could do something with the U.S. Championships. We still have a couple things in between. And one of my favorite races on the calendar up next. Finally, leadership status. It's the Mont Ventoux Challenge. It's one of my favorite races of the entire year because, come on, Mont Ventoux. And until we get to World Tour and start actually competing in the Grand Tours, this is one of the big ones, especially for a rider of my design, of my style. I have 99% fitness, so even though I have a 0 race day condition, it does come with some perks thanks to that 99% fitness. +2 to my mountains, my hills, my resistance, my acceleration, and my stamina gets a +1 today, so oh yeah, looking good. 84 mountain rating today. I could be the favorite. My team expects that I win the race, and it's certainly possible. There's not much standing in my way, but there's 1, 2 well, two big concerns that are interconnected. One, I lack a team. I lack quality within my team to help me. And coupled with that, Ineos, unlike anybody else, brought a stacked team of the next three favorites on the list. So they have three outstanding guys to work together to hit me again and again, and I have no support. That worries me. That worries me immensely. We're just getting started. Barbosa working to keep things now in check. 7 riders off the front. My team is going to have to do some work in this race to keep things in order, and there's a lot of attacks coming right now, and there's a lot of fatigue coming as a result. Garrison finally here to protect me. I'm letting them kind of manage things themselves for a little bit, but let's see how we're looking. I've got 2 guys that are sick or injured, lightly injured. Barbosa, yeah, 63 Mountain. He's doing his work right now. Garrison, 68. Good race day condition. That helps. Alves, I'd venture to say that that's a high 60s. Definitely punchy. And Malone's a 76. That is going to be my main support guy. And let's do something about this. Let's put him on relay for a little bit. I want to bring him forward. Get him up near me. And we're going to keep him there. Okay, that's a good enough place. So we're going to set him to a 75, and let's get him a support rider, which, since we only have a couple to choose from, that's going to be Alves. Garrison, let's officially put you on protect, and then that leaves us Barbosa. Barbosa kind of go in and out. 5.5 minutes, 8 riders off the front. Let's put Barbosa on that relay. Just contribute, keep things in check, don't let the break get too far away. Who's in that break after all? Grillier, Mertz. It's an okay group, not a big threat. There we go. 67's enough to do some work. Looks like about 3 guys sharing that load. We will also use Barbosa to take care of water. First time. Oh, no, never mind. Camargo is taking care of that. Tolman also here. Those guys later on might be of use. Malone could certainly be of use when we get into some climbing here before too long. And the gap is down to 3.5 minutes as we hit the base of the Chalet Reynard. And we'll see. How am I doing? 75 is blinking a little bit. Let's go 78. Malone. Oop, that's Alves. There's Malone. Let's push Malone up to an 80. We don't want him drifting back too far. We'll keep an eye on things here from Malone's perspective for a while. I'm perfectly fine using Barbosa up now. He's not going to last much longer. Okay, pace does seem to have lifted. Looks like Ineos might have been turning the screw there for a little bit, doing some damage. And they've already done that. Start everybody hurting early on, you'll get a lot of riders that don't last all the way up. Okay, Barbosa, nearly done. Garrison, nearly done. Garrison is the one that was protecting me, so let's switch this up. Let's bring Alves in position, and let's bring Malone on my wheel. Okay, not much of a chase anymore. Gap's coming out really fast all of a sudden. We're going to need to get Alves to ride. Let's go ahead and get Alves to ride. Malone can protect me instead of riding behind me. That is doing some damage to the field, down to 110 riders. But not a lot. You can see Ineos wants control, but doesn't want control. Right now, they're just taking it easy through this climb. Alves done, but we make it over the top. Camargo and Tolman are still here, but not under my control. was hoping as riders get eliminated, I would gain control over them, but that has not happened. And now it does. Camargo and Tolman. I do not need them both on the front. We got Alves for that. Sit up. Okay, that's a 76 mountain. And that's a 76 mountain. Let's bring you forward a little bit. And then we'll hold position. Okay, so Malone was, what, 76? How's the stamina? Camargo is a little bit better. So we'll leave him as kind of the protected guy. Tolman. Tolman, go ahead and get water. We're at 70 in the peloton. 80. Pace isn't a lot right now. Alves working the hardest. Slowly bringing back breakaway riders. Now 40k to go. I think I'd like to get water one more time here before it's too late. So we're going to send Tolman back. I know we just did it 20k ago, but... Ooh, 38 in the peloton. There was just a split. Oh, this is good. This is good for us. Nice little crash leads to a big split in the field. Put a group back on their heels. Last two riders are 2 minutes away as we prepare for the final climb. And Ineos riding pretty hard. I'm at full strength this time. So that's very good. Malone's not doing bad. We're seeing an attack, are we? It's okay, that'll be responded to.
Attack! It's a good moment to show the team colors.
As long as it's not Ineos attacking. It's really the only team I'm going to need to watch out for today, I think, especially with that 84 mountain. I'm not saying we're going to win this thing, but we better be in the top 5. On Ventoux, 19.2 kilometers, 1,900 meters, nearly 2,000 meters of elevation change at an average of 8% for the gradient. The first 4K, pretty easy, but then it's going to get really tough. Alright, let's put ourselves up to an 81. Let's put these guys up to 85. Keep Alves working at, say, an 80. We will use up Malone.
Whoa, there's an attack from inside the breakaway group, and he sprints away in attack.
Okay, big uptick in tempo. 4 guys riding hard. Peloton at 36. And they actually were attacking, not just splitting off. Let's do this then. Okay, we're going to go, say, 83. And we have Camargo, we have Tolman, we have Malone, and we have Alves. And Alves, you're a hilly guy. So if we don't catch them too quickly, he can just accelerate a little bit more. Okay, Ineos, the main one doing the work right now. For me, not feeling it. 16K. This is one of those things where the later we save it, the better my chances. It's a one stage. So we don't need to push too hard, too early. But it's 5 riders off the front. And that is a couple of the favorites that are in that attack position. But as they fade, they're eliminating themselves. Those are definitely all 4 up there. All 5, really. Good climbers. Alves nearly done, and we will be on to Malone here shortly. Okay, 45-second gap. I don't need to catch them. I actually don't necessarily want to catch them because you can see how they are beating themselves up. So let them ride on, let them eliminate themselves from the competition and further cement a high placing for myself. Meanwhile, the peloton is getting smaller. Okay, let's go a little easier for Malone again. This is about the destruction of these three right now, keeping them in check. And I'm perfectly happy with this small gap as they are splitting off. Bernard attacking, Chevalier leaving behind Prodholm. Prodholm's going to be caught here in just a moment. Chevalier, both of those guys will go right out the back. And we have 27 in the peloton. And Malone is nearly done.
Finish line is getting close. The riders just passed the 10 kilometers road sign.
And we're going to start gentle for Tolman as he takes over. Let's go ahead and ride from Malone's perspective for a moment. See what these other teams are working with. There's still 3 strong Ineos riders right there near the front. And we're seeing an acceleration. One that I'm going to need to respond to. It's Cepeda. Cepeda is one we got to watch out for. So get your little acceleration. There you go. Blocks it off immediately. That's all he had. Down to 22.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind. The riders are
Tolman
in
go
push above
99 for a
10%.
second. Nope. That's immediately leading to an action on these guys' part. Carmago go 81. It's still 8.5K, and I'm about to be solo. Berwick, he's one of the favorites. Mesnada, Rivera.
The group has to break apart.
Rivera is one of those 3, so we need to follow. We need to follow. 3 riders off the front. Rivera now sitting up. They're going to force me to do the work. Just do so gently. 15 chasing 3. Berwick, Mesnada, Verona. Those guys are all in the top 6 or 7 favorites. Chavez, Rivera, Almeida. That's the trio we've got to watch out for. And now it's just 10 riders left. Okay, nobody wants to work with me except for Almeida. 9 riders left, 6K. It's a long distance to cover, so I don't want to be working too hard here. I definitely don't want to be the one trying to control tempo. But Ineos still has me in check. Down to 7 now. Riders falling off one by one. 5 kilometers to go.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
Mesnada wants to contribute a little bit. 4K to go. We've got a top 7 sorted out. Guaranteed some of these guys are struggling. In fact, let's look back. Okay, you can see Chavez, shoulders bobbing so bad. Rivera just hanging on at the back. Berwick, he's definitely hurting. Verona looks okay-ish. But I think Mesnada, Almeida, and I, the only ones with a chance. 3K to go. Okay, there's my gel. Let's wait a moment. Hopefully that kicks in soon. Chavez taking over. Okay, this is good. Saving the final run in for Almeida. 2.5K to go. 2K to go. And we're down to 4. Almeida, Mesnada, Verona. Told you this was the 4 that looked the strongest. 1.8K. I have enough left to attack, but not much. Not much. Mesnada fading. Down to 2. Down to 2, but I'm also down on energy.
This climb is feared by many riders.
Final kilometer.
The surges are very high.
Final kilometer. He's not wanting to work. We're going to have to come forward. 600 meters. 400 meters. Final sprint. Final sprint. Come on. Come on. Get to the top first. Get to the top first.
A really
Yes.
finish.
Yes.
Claim a great victory.
Joao Almeida made it tight in the end. Almeida second. Mesnada third. Verona, Chavez rounding out the podium. It was our day. We beat the Ineos trio, who only managed to get 2nd, 5th, and 6th. Berwick, the top 7 were the top 7 favorites. Those were the 7 names at the top of the list. We were the name highest on that list, but with that lack of team support, having to go the majority of that climb solo with a small group, that forced me to do the work, that forced me to do the chase, was worrying. If I could still pull that off with, 66 stamina, 77 resistance, would we have enough? And the answer was barely had enough. But enough it was. And we win the Mont Ventoux Challenge. Hell yeah, I'll take it. Big result for us this season. Almeida is a fantastic climber. Those other guys, definitely no joke. All of the top 10 are solid, strong climbers. So, yeah, that was good. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.